Listen, I have a question for you today. We were on a call 15 minutes ago, an incredible call about how to build a 5-year real estate career. But you brought up a topic on that call that I think is the most important thing that a new agent can hear. And it dealt with going after for sale by owners, which is going to be critically important, especially with all of the changes that are taking place in the real estate industry. So, hey, the floor is yours, but everybody has to hear this story. So impressive. Go.
Okay, perfect. Well, yes, you're right. When I started in real estate in 1998, I worked the for sale by owner market. And I am not encouraging anybody to work that market. There are much easier ways, and there's much better ways of doing it than there were when I was doing it. So this is going to translate. The first people that you always want to call are your center of influence. And of course, on your podcast, I did that center of influence script, and I'm happy to attach a copy of that here. And so, but I wanted to just kind of go back and share my numbers. So one of the things that we talked about is how out of every 100 people, 3 people woke up this morning thinking, I got to sell my house. I got to buy a new house. I want to do something different in the real estate world. Out of every 100 people, 3 people got up and said, I need a new career. Through every 100 people, 3 people got up and said, I need to, change my family structure. Everybody, out of every 100 people, 3 people are looking for your services. So I kind of want to break down those numbers and make it a little bit easier. So when I started in real estate, my mentor and business partner, a wonderful man named Jeff Smith, taught me how to make for sale by owner phone calls, and he taught me how to track them. So what I had is in my planner, I had an old school planner, Franklin Covey planner, and I would write down LMR for left message recorder because I was leaving voice messages on answering machines. Most of you listening don't even know what an answering machine is. So I would track my calls, I would track my messages, and I would track the people that I talked to. Because what Jeff taught me is that the only thing that I can control is the number of phone calls I make every day, right? I can't control
Absolutely.
how many people answer. I can't control how many people do business with me. I can't control what houses sell, but I can control how many phone calls I make. So I didn't have anything going on in my life. I made phone calls every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11. I did lunch from 11 to 12 because the restaurants aren't busy at 11, right? So if you go to lunch at 11, you can get out a lot earlier than if you go to lunch at 12. And then I would come back and I would make phone calls from 12 until 3. And then after a year of making phone calls, I went back and I did an audit. And what I figured out is that my calls that I made on Friday afternoons were pretty much duds. Even if I booked an appointment on a Friday afternoon, people would cancel on Mondays, right? So my work week was Monday through Friday, made phone calls from 9 to 11 and from 12 to 3. And then on Fridays, I worked from 9 until 11. And then if I didn't have appointments, I was off for the weekend at 11 o'clock on Fridays. And I never worked weekends ever, ever. That was just never part of my business model. But anyway, I digress. So my first year, I went back and I did an audit. Now, my first year selling real estate, my average sales price was $78,000. And I made $72,212 that year. So $72,212, okay? And I made 2887 phone calls. So what that meant is that on average, I made $25 every time I dialed the phone. Now, that made it very easy for me to go back and make phone calls and make an extra 10 or 15 phone calls, right? Because I would think, okay, well, I know I really want to bump off work early, but if I make 10 more phone calls, I'll make $250 and, that'll pay for my, new blouse that I want at Macy's, right?
Right.
Well, so I was starting from scratch, and remember my average sales price was really low. So Skip, what's your average sales price where you are?
The average sales price here is 324,000.
Okay, so 324 divided by my average sales price was 78,000. So you're about 4.15 times what my average sales price was. So let's just adjust that for being in a different market, being 20 years, 30 years later. So that would be $103 adjusted for market.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Skip, would it be easier for you to make an extra 10 calls a day if in your head you thought, well, that makes me an extra $1,000 this today?
It might motivate me highly to make those extra phone calls.
Right, right. So now my next year in real estate, of course, I had stuff in the pipeline, right? A lot of stuff in the pipeline, and I was better at my job, and my sales prices were higher, and all that kind of stuff. My next year, I made $120,000, and the next year, first of all, I didn't work nearly as hard, right? But I made a lot more money. The next year, I made 12, 13 phone calls, which means I made $98 every time I dial the phone.
Mm.
Now, again, let's adjust it for your different sales price times 415. So that would be the equivalent of $410 every time I dial the phone.
A lot of money.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But here's the deal. If Jeff hadn't taught me to make little tick marks every time I dial the phone, I wouldn't have felt nearly as good about my business model, right?
Hmm.
Now, again, I was calling for sale by owners, people that didn't want to talk to me to begin with, right?
Hmm.
So, Skip, instead of calling for sale by owners, if I were starting in real estate today, and what I teach people to do today is I've got this center of influence script that works really well with KB Core. That's an opportunity to reach out to people that know you and like you and trust you. Now, Skip, if you don't mind, go to your cell phone and go to your contacts. Okay. Now I know you're not an iPhone user, so yours is a little different, but I want you to go to your contacts and I want you to scroll all the way down to the bottom and tell me if your phone shows you how many contacts you have.
Yeah, I have 1,100 contacts on my phone.
You have more than 1,100 people on your phone. I don't believe
I'm
that.
I'm giving you the short version.
Oh, okay. Well, I have 32,000 contacts in my phone.
Uh, yeah, 11,000 is what I meant.
11,000 makes more sense. So of those 11,000, it's my hallucination that probably at least 2,000 of those people know you, like you, and trust you, right?
I'd say that's a good chance.
So what if instead of calling for sale by owners or investing money in Zillow, you went through your phone and you picked the A's and you said, I'm going to go through the A's and I'm going to call every single person in my phone that I know their name and I think that they might be interested in real estate, whether they're in your local market or not, and call those people and put
I
the ones in
would,
your local market on a drip.
yeah. And let me ask you a question, Tracy. What would I say to them? You probably have something that you would say to them. And
Mhm.
secondly, and very importantly, what would I do with them after I got off that call?
Okay, so I am going to pull up my script that I just did with you here on the previous call, which is my COI script. Okay. All right. So Skip, you going to role play with me here?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, hey, Skip. Now, don't be hard on me, Skip. Okay, play along because this we don't have all day, right? So,
No
be
problem.
really nice. Okay. Hey, Skip. Tracy, from the country club here. Do you have a quick minute for a business call?
Yeah, Tracy, what's up?
Great, great. Well, as you probably know, Skip, I'm a realtor with eXp Realty, best business decision that I've ever made. And with this shifting market, a lot of my friends are curious about how that might be affecting their home values. So we have this awesome free automated service that notifies you every time a new home comes on the market in your subdivision. Would it be okay if I added you to that drip campaign so that you always know what homes in your area are selling for?
Sure.
Yeah, great. Perfect. That sounds perfect. Okay, so Skip, what's your email? Oh, Skip is great at skipisgreat.com, whatever your email is, right? Now, Skip, every few days, I'll send you an email with all the new listings and price adjustments in your area. That way, you are always in the loop about the value of your home price. And, Skip, I know that you're really, really happy, where you are and that you just recently made a move 2 or 3 years ago. But if you were to ever sell, have you ever given any thought to where you might go?
Yeah, I'd probably go to California only when I didn't have to work and I could just play golf everywhere.
I love it. Well, what part of California do you think you might be interested in? San Diego? Are you thinking La Quinta?
Oh
Where
no,
would you
San Diego for
San
sure.
Diego. So I've got a wonderful friend, Pete Middleton, who is a rock star in the San Diego marketplace. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to him and I'm going to have him put you on a drip campaign for country club communities there in beautiful San Diego. That way you can always know what your home's worth now and always know what things are selling for in San Diego. Does that sound like a good plan?
Sounds like a great plan.
Great, great. And one other thing, Skip, a lot of my friends, especially with interest rates as crazy as they are and, such uncertainty and other investments are really looking at investing in real estate, especially for the possible tax advantages. Have you ever given any thought to investing in real estate?
Actually, I have, Trace, because my house that you sold me 5 years ago is almost
Uh-huh.
doubled in value. So I'm actually looking to buy a piece of real estate. Just haven't, don't know how, quite frankly.
You know what? I've got a great video I can send you on that. And in the meantime, I'll put you on a drip campaign for some multifamilies and some small apartment complexes and maybe some storage units that might be on the market in our area too. That way you got lots of great information. And whenever you're ready to take a look at something, Skip, just pick up the phone and call me and we'll go look at some properties.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a good plan.
Sounds great. Well, Skip, thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you at the country club.
All right, Trace. Now, listen, Tracy, I have a real question for those people who are new agents. Not
Uh-huh.
all calls are going to go exactly the way this call did, but I bet a lot of them will be very positive about finding out what their property's worth. And many people are looking at investments in real estate today because they've seen so much dramatic appreciation on their property that they own.
100%. I use that script. As soon as I got KV Core, I started using that script. And the very first person I called, because I wanted to test it out on somebody that I knew, liked, and trusted, also happened to be the wealthiest person that I knew at the time, Joe Mangione, who has been a wonderful friend and mentor to me for goodness, 30 years now. And I called him with that exact same script. And he said, and he got real quiet and he said, Tracy, I had a dream that I bought one of those homes up on the hill in the Dominion. And I said, Joe, one just went on the market. And I knew that because I was getting the daily updates on the Dominion and I had seen that property come on the market that exact day. And he said, when can we look at it? And I said, 3 o'clock this afternoon. And we looked at that property and Skip, he bought it. So I had my
Wow.
most expensive sale in my entire life the very first time I used the script.
That's
Yeah,
it's a phenomenal story. It's one that I know to be real.
true.
And
Yeah.
what's really significant about this call is anybody can do what you did if they just take the time to do it.
Right. And it's you're coming from a place of contribution. So let me show you what these emails look like. Okay, so when I moved to Palm Coast, I had my amazing friend and business partner Denise, because I'm not licensed in Florida, so I don't get these. I had her put me on a drip. So I want to buy an investment property here in my complex because we don't have a garage where we are, and I want a garage because I want a golf cart, right? So I'm looking for a condo with a garage. Well, she put me on drips for every property within a mile radius that happens to have a garage. That way I can also keep up with what houses are selling for too. Not that I want a house because I don't. But this is the one that I got. Is it today, the 21st? Yesterday, right? So, first of all, what do I see? I see Denise's happy little face, and I see a property in my subdivision that has gone on the market. Now, how do I feel about Denise right now?
Well, number one, she's reminding you that she's still there. Two, you're thankful that she's sending you information that you want.
Right. Because who doesn't want to know about the value of homes where they live, right? And then once a month, I get a home value update. Hi, Tracy. The market estimate for your home has been updated. A market estimate is a starting point in finding your home's top selling potential. Review the details below behind this change. And then message me directly with questions. So I review now and I see the value of my property. How cool is that, right? And what am I? And so,
So,
and here's the really cool thing. Oh, I can go in and I can edit my value. It says that the average home in my area is 506,000, and it tells me whether the values have gone up or down, and how many homes have gone on the market, the most expensive property, and the least expensive property. I mean, this is really great information, right?
absolutely.
And again, how do I feel about Denise? But here is the super, super cool thing. As soon as I log on and I click that button, Denise is going to get a notification automatically on her cell phone that Tracy is on her website. So if Denise, of course, Denise knows that I'm not interested in selling, but if I were one of Denise's active clients, what is Denise going to do? She's going to get that notification. She's going to hit the button. She's going to say, Tracy, I was just thinking about you. You know, a home just came on the market that you might be interested in. It makes Denise look clairvoyant.
And it also makes her a highly professional real estate agent that is of value to the person who's on the other end of the phone.
Right.
Powerful. What system do you use? And how much does it cost? Sounds
I
outrageously expensive.
so glad that you asked. It is the Neiman Marcus of lead generation system. It is called KV Core. The letter K, the letter V, the word core. And it is the Neiman Marcus of lead generation systems. When I was at Keller Williams, I had it. I paid $997 up front and $499 a month, worth every penny. But special price just for you. If you are an EXP agent, it is free. It doesn't cost you a single penny. It is free. And above and beyond that, EXP does on average 10 training classes a week for free on how to use it. And we have this special workplace group where we share best practices. So you can go in and say, okay, what squeeze pages are working? And you can find out a squeeze page from somebody in Alaska that's getting great results, and you can copy and paste that squeeze page into your local market. So we share the stuff that is working the best. You know, is it for sale by owners? You know, is it investment property squeeze pages? Is it, price reduce squeeze pages work really well. Is it golf course community squeeze pages? So, you know, whatever your market is, you can find an EXP agent that has already put together a great squeeze page, and you can literally copy and paste it. So you've got all of this collaboration, all of these abilities to use it for free. And when you really get rocking and rolling, you can hire a VA for $5 an hour to go in and do all this stuff for you. So
I like that idea already. Hey, Traci, as we bring this to a close, I just want to recap a couple things that I heard. Number one, you can just use your telephone to call for sale by owners and expired listings, just like you did 25 years ago when you started your career. That may be a little long. Is that about right?
1997, so going on 30 years. What is that?
Going on 30 years.
27
And you
years?
can still do that today. And we have all of the tools and great scripts and things that will help you. Or you can
Or
use a more updated strategy, which is reaching out to people that are looking to talk to you because you know them already. They're in your phone, and use the technique to put them on a drip campaign so that they will constantly be reminded of you as a professional in the local marketplace, and you're providing them with data and information that every single homeowner wants and values.
100%. 100%.
So,
And you're
Traci, I want
coming
to
from a
thank you
place of
for the short call today. Every real estate agent in the U.S. and around the world needs to hear this call. Thanks for being with me.
blessings to you, my dear. Thanks so much, Skip. And bye-bye.
Bye.